Sitting out here in Newport Beach, the last free city in California. I hear that the state government, though, is trying to overrule them, override them. I should say trying. I got a feeling they're going to make that call. We are only as free as we choose to be. Businesses sign agreements with the city when they purchase a license to conduct trade. You don't have to have a license in order to conduct your business. Trade, I should say. Again, we don't want to use corporate terms. When you're trying to conduct trade to live your life, watch how all these ducks come back over here. They're all following Dude Man. They're fascinated with Dude Man. They're like, is that a dog with sunglasses? So, when you apply for a license to do something you have a God-given right to do, which is to trade, and in order to have a life, then when you apply for a license, you agree to that city's terms, no matter how ridiculous they are. So if they tell you got to cover your face, you got to do it. But that does not mean that free men like me and some people out there, doesn't mean that we all have to do it. If you're a free living man and you don't have a contract with any corporation saying that you're going to abide by their code, according to international law, you can be part of any club, and any club you decide to be part of, you have to abide by their laws, and they can set any laws they want. International law, that even means, like for the Freemasons, upon pain and death, you will keep the secrets of a lodge. So if you violate that, then you better believe that the Masons hold that to be true. Upon pain and death, don't violate the secrets of the lodge, because you agreed to their club so they can carry out their orders and their rules as they see fit. Doesn't matter if it's illegal, meaning in the court system, it's their law. Just like I follow natural law. Natural law says don't hurt anyone or their property, and I'm free to live my life as I see fit, which is what I do, which is why I'm out here enjoying these beautiful baby duckies who keep sticking their bills in their fur and just chilling. As long as I don't violate and injure anybody or their property, then I'm safe within natural law. For those of you who aren't afraid of the G word, God's law. And that's what I follow. And I think if you genuinely are trying to follow God's law, you'll usually stay out of trouble with all law, meaning all legality, codes and statutes and all that stuff. But if you're trying to have your cake and eat it too, meaning you don't want to follow corporate legality, but you're also somebody who's violating natural law, God's law, I think it will catch up with you eventually. So, but I respect other people, other people's property. If you want to hide in your house and you want to cover your face and all that, you go right ahead. But do not ask me to do it. I'm not going to do it. You can interfere with people who signed a contract with the city. Those people are going to have to follow along with the law. Right, good boy? And I am going to live my life. Because again, you gather information and evidence about what's going on around you. There are not a bunch of sick people. I have other videos I've shown you. There's nobody at the hospital. Even though the media says we have lots of patients, they have 0 patients, in line. Sure, there might be 1 or 2 in the emergency room. And I tell you what, the majority of those patients, people are going to go to the hospital simply because the media is telling them you're sick and you might have a fatal disease. If somebody wasn't telling you that all the time, you wouldn't get worried about it. But when somebody tells you that that might be a problem, you immediately get paranoid about it. You get scared about it. Just laughing, these ducks keep following dude, man. But so it's neuro-linguistic programming. When somebody keeps saying that they are stupid, if they keep saying they're stupid, they will eventually really end up being stupid. If somebody keeps saying I'm a bad person, then eventually they're going to be a bad person. But if somebody positively reinforces himself by saying I'm a good person and I'm grateful every day, then eventually they're going to be a good person and grateful. They're going to have a kind heart. And that is, again, that is science. They've proven that, So you can look at studies of neuro-linguistic programming. It's a lot of what, the secrets. Is that what they're called? The secrets or something, or the 12 secrets or whatever. All this good feeling stuff is all based on general psychology. Just like they know psychology, they know how to control the whole masses. They know how to make, sorry, I had a hat on and it's off. We did our workout on the beach today. It might be the last time because I heard the cops are literally going to go out there and patrol tomorrow. I don't know. But I lost my train of thought. But anyway, we are under attack right now. Your freedoms are under attack right now. Just like in Germany. So in Germany, they did the same thing. And again, look up your history. Okay, the West, Prescott Bush, Grandpa Bush of, George Bush, he was caught funding Hitler. And he was actually had a fine against his bank. And he was charged with aiding the enemy. People don't know this. You got to learn about your history. So if you're charged with aiding the enemy, aiding Hitler, I can't think of anybody worse to be caught aiding. Yet somehow he not only aided, got charged, got fined, but then he had children that were quote unquote elected into office, which is a joke, obviously. Nobody's elected, they're all selected, and Prescott Bush played his part in aiding Hitler's conquest. He wasn't alone though. There were other Western American businesses like IBM. IBM gave the first computer to Hitler to monitor his labor camps. And IBM, there's actually a book called IBM and the Holocaust written by Edwin Black. And he has a picture of the IBM machine that they used that used to be in the Holocaust Museum until he released his book and they took it out of the Holocaust Museum. Interesting, huh? So he also has another book called The Transfer Agreement that talks about the agreement that Hitler had to let the Jews leave Germany. So it wasn't just about him rounding them all up. Again, there's a lot of stuff we don't know that went on there, but Edwin Black, a Jewish historical researcher who has a couple books out, check him out. Very interesting that we're not taught the same history that people actually lived. So, anyway, I tend to go off on different things here because there's a lot of different areas of research you do in order to get a complete picture of what's going on. It's not just a simple answer. Everybody says, who's they? Who's doing this? Why are they doing this? And it's not a simple answer like that. It takes a lot of time and research to come up with a complete picture. I try to give people little bits and pieces so that they can go and research that one little thing or that one little thing. And once you realize that you research that thing and you understand that I'm telling you the truth, then we can keep going on with a dialogue. The first thing is to make sure that you verify the stuff that somebody's telling you. Don't believe anything I'm saying until you can verify it for yourself. Don't trust anyone. Read everything, listen to everything, believe nothing until you can prove it for yourself. That's good old assassinated radio show host Bill Cooper. And he would say that almost every show. And I agree. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Go research it for yourself. If more people would go research for themselves anyway, then they would really empower themselves with knowledge, and they too would get a complete picture of what's going on. So every time a new event comes up, a new, I gotta speak code word, so I don't get any of the YouTube Gestapo after me. But, any of the, school or Vegas events, any of those things that pop up, you start to see the matrix, and you can see what things don't add up, like, nope, I don't believe that. Or there's some version of it I could possibly believe. But either way, it's all to push everybody into a certain direction. And what's going on right now is to totally push everybody into a direction. They're using the fear of this invisible enemy, as they say. And with the fear of the invisible enemy, they are able to get people to give up their freedoms voluntarily. They don't need to come in here with an army. Just like the Russian slammed his shoe on the desk at the United Nations and said, "We don't have to take down America. We will infiltrate them within." And that is exactly what has happened. All people in government. And I've got a friend who has a brother in government, and I keep trying to kind of pick away at, asking certain questions without ruining our friendship, because I know that all people in government have been compromised in some way. And unfortunately, her brother is no different. Her brother calls her a conspiracy nut. And, conspiracies have been around since the beginning of time. It's not like, conspiracies don't exist. They totally exist. They've been around for a very long time. And, people want to attach theory to everything because they don't want to take the time to look up something. They don't want to take the time to look it up. Two, they don't want to go against the herd. The herd mentality. Boy, I'll tell you, me going against the herd, whew, people get, I've lost friends over this, but apparently they were not friends. They were not quality friends. Anybody who gets angry with you for your thoughts and your views on things, not a great friend, So, because everybody should be able to talk to one another. The truth does not fear scrutiny. The truth does not fear scrutiny. I'm okay with anybody sitting down and questioning the hell out of my beliefs. Why do you think the way you think? What makes you think that this is right and that is wrong? Go ahead, ask me. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. It's important for us to keep an open dialogue. And that's just not happening, and that's another reason for the social distancing and the they call it quarantining. Never have I ever heard of any, even in Alien, the movie Alien, they don't quarantine the healthy guys. They quarantine the sick. They didn't quarantine everybody who was healthy. They quarantined the guy who had the alien on his face, because that's how it works. If you're sick, you quarantine that person. You don't quarantine the healthy. That's insanity. That's psychopathic. But unfortunately, we are ruled by psychopaths. Who knows why in this reality we're dealt this hand, but this is the way it is, I'm sure all the people in World War II thought it was the end times, because it was just awful. But, they prevailed, and then those of them who perished went on to a better place. A better, who knows what's next.
We need to make sure that everybody continues to let us know where those folks are. If you've observed recurring violations of the Safer at Home order, please continue to let us know at coronavirus.lacity.org/business violation. You know the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe.
My opinion is if you do a good job here in this reality, we're going to get to move on to something better. If we do a bad job and we're selfish, meaning we're keep our mouth shut so that we don't ruffle the feathers of our neighbors, because by being quiet, we are indeed consenting to evil. If you don't say something's wrong, then it's the same as you saying something's right. If you see a pedophile, making moves on a child and you don't say anything, that's just as bad as you being the pedophile itself, because you're allowing that child to be hurt. That's what's happening here right now. People don't want to say anything. I had another friend of mine I was, helping, and he doesn't even want my free help anymore because he doesn't want to talk about what's going on around here. He says, just keep your mouth shut and keep working. Got another friend who's a director, and he has a lot of power. He could totally, start revealing the truth, because he even said, he goes, Thor, I believe what you're saying, and I'm with you. I totally agree with you. He goes, but don't get yourself put in a corner. Keep your mouth shut. And that's the problem with everything, is everybody doesn't want to be put in a corner. They don't, they're going to keep their mouth shut. You ready to walk? Okay, let's go. They're going to keep their mouth shut so they don't get put in a corner. And I did that for a long time. But now it wears on my soul. I feel like I'm selling out. So I am at the very least going to share with people the research I've done over this last 5 years. I've done a lot of research, and I want to share it with people. And they've taken a lot of it down off the internet. So again, always leave comments. If you can't find something, I'll send it to you. If it's been taken down, like I can't tell you how many of my playlists have been just decimated and erased. So you're gonna have to be really vigilant. And again, you're gonna have to, don't just pick the first couple things that pop up on an internet search. You might have to go in 2-3 pages. Ooh, 2-3 pages in an internet search? Get out of here. And every word you come across where you don't understand that word, you need to look it up. If you think you understand it, but you're not positive, look it up. It's only going to make you more intelligent, more learned. But we have to talk to one another. We have to get out of our house. We have to exercise our freedom. If we don't, we're consenting to this insanity going on around us. Pretty much all I got for today. I hope the beautiful walk in the park was cool. I'll wear a hat next time so my funky hair doesn't get in the way. Everybody take care of one another. Put your thinking caps on, and we will see you next time. Yay, puppies!
So where'd you get the sunglasses?